なんでもない。
はい、バルラブ開始。
待っててくれみんな。何これ、ディープキスって苦しい。
Val X Love is an anime series that revolves around Takuma Akutsu, a high school student who suffers from a condition called gynophobia, which makes him extremely afraid of women. One day, while walking home from school, he is transported to a world where he meets a group of powerful Valkyries who are tasked with saving the world from evil monsters. However, in order to become stronger and defeat these monsters, the Valkyries need Takuma's help. In exchange, they offer to cure him of his phobia with their bodies. As Takuma begins to spend more time with the Valkyries, he forms close bonds with each of them and gradually overcomes his fear of women. As we delve into the daily life of Hokuo Academy, it becomes apparent that there are a few popular girls that everyone seems to gravitate towards. Natsuki, Itsuyo, and Mutsumi are among them, with their infectious personalities and stunning looks. However, in stark contrast to these popular girls, there's Takuma. With his menacing appearance, Takuma is feared by most and is often referred to as a demon. It's a title he's grown accustomed to throughout his entire life, and it's caused him to withdraw from the world and develop a crippling phobia of interacting with others. Despite his efforts to isolate himself from everyone, it's eventually revealed that Natsuki, Itsuyo, and Mitsumi are actually living in the same home as him, along with a few other sisters of theirs. What's more, these sisters are actually Valkyries on a mission to save the world from impending demon attacks that have been making headlines lately. And as fate would have it, Takuma has been chosen as their lover. With a shared goal and living arrangements, Takuma and Natsuki start to spend more time together, including studying together. However, despite his love of learning, Takuma still struggles with interacting with others, especially girls, which makes things a little awkward, but he's determined to fulfill the promise he made to his late mother to become a great man, and Natsuki starts to warm up to him after seeing his efforts. One evening, while out running errands, a demon suddenly attacks the pair, catching them off guard. In a moment of desperation, Takuma and Natsuki perform a Val Love, which causes Natsuki to transform into her Valkyrie mode and defeat the demon. It's a powerful moment that solidifies their bond, and Takuma remembers the warning Odin gave him about the impending apocalypse and the importance of the Saotome sisters' mission. Following the dramatic events of the previous episode, Natsuki steps up and rallies Takuma, convincing him that he has the power to save their world. The next day, the gang returns to school, and as they receive their test results, Takuma is disappointed to discover that his grades are still lagging behind despite his diligent studying. His fear of being in close proximity with others has taken a toll on his academic performance. Meanwhile, Itsuyo has assumed her role as the student council president with ease, but she has an ulterior motive: to capture Takuma's heart on behalf of her father. In an abandoned classroom, Itsuyo attempts to perform Val Love's ritual with Takuma, but their compatibility proves to be less than ideal, and the effort falls flat. The plot thickens when a demon suddenly materializes on campus, sending everyone into a state of panic. The girls spring into action, erecting a barrier while Natsuki transforms into her valiant alter ego, ready to face the menacing creature head-on. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. What is your favorite anime duo? Get 4 people to reply to your comment and be shouted out in our next video. Now, back to the recap. It's a beautiful day at Hokuo Academy as the Culture Festival kicks off with a bang. Takuma arrives with his trusted friend Yakumo, eager to join in on the festivities. As they stroll around, they can't help but notice how lively everything is. The students are busy setting up their booths and decorating the campus, filling the air with the scent of freshly cooked food and the sound of music. Curious to see what Natsuki is up to, Takuma and Yakumo make their way to the class cafe, where they find her surrounded by a group of guys. But things take a naughty turn when one of them tries to flirt with her, and Takuma can't help but feel a twinge of jealousy. Fortunately, his other friends, Futaba, Misa, and Kururi, arrive, and they decide to turn the tables by using the opportunity to try a festival date, Val Love. Takuma and Misa venture into a haunted house display together, but it doesn't go well. They both scream and hold on to each other tightly, only to find themselves in a worse situation. As they exit, Takuma bumps into Garm, who reveals his true colors. Just as the demon Svaldefadi attacks the school, he captures Takuma, leaving the Saotome sisters at a disadvantage, separated from their Einherjar. The battle begins as Misa, Itsuyo, Mitsumi, Yakumo, and Kururi charge into the barrier to fight and try to find Takuma. However, they quickly become overwhelmed by the demon's strength. Meanwhile, outside of the barrier, Natsuki runs into Ichika, and the two fight off the wandering students possessed by the demon. As Garm watches them struggle, Takuma recalls his conversation with Natsuki before the festival, and upon remembering the faith she has in him, he finds the strength to stand up. But Garm is still too powerful and quickly corners Takuma until Futaba makes an appearance. Futaba fights with all her might against Garm, her heart racing as she tries to create an opening for Takuma to escape and reach Natsuki. However, Garm is not an easy opponent to fool, and he had seen through her plan. He swiftly activates a parasite within Takuma, skewering him from within. Fear grips Futaba as she watches the scene unfold before her eyes, but just when all hope seems lost, a power from Asgard awakens within Takuma, known as Mistiltein. The power quickly heals his body, leaving Garm stunned by this revelation. With the enemy momentarily stunned, Takuma seizes the opportunity and escapes, darting through the school halls, fighting off the hordes of possessed students with every fiber of his being. He remembers his promise to Natsuki and the words of his mother, urging him to keep pushing forward until he finally reaches her. Meanwhile, in the fight against Svaldefadi, Yakumo steps in to enhance Mitsumi's holy sword, allowing her to activate the wings briefly, freeing herself from the demon's clutches. Misa uses her power, the string, to break Itsuyo free from the monster's grasp. The battle rages on as the girls fight to protect one another, each one determined to emerge victorious. As Takuma and Natsuki finally meet up in an isolated classroom, their passion ignites, and they begin to engage in an intense vow love, to French kiss nude for 5 minutes. As they continue, the exhaustion sets in, and they start to worry if they can keep going. But just when they think they might have to give up, Takuma produces a mysterious book, and they find the strength to keep pushing forward. Meanwhile, Misa struggles to hold off the demon while protecting her sisters. She uses their clothes as a last resort to defend them with her power, the string. But just as things start to look grim, Natsuki appears in an even more powerful Valkyrie form. With renewed vigor, she fights the demon fiercely, but its ability to consume anything proves to be a formidable challenge. As the battle rages on, Futaba continues to fight Garm, her mind racing as she deduces that Ragnarok, the Great War, is approaching. Garm's mission in Midgard is to collect Aether from humans in preparation for the impending battle, but just as Natsuki manages to finish off Svaldefadi with one final blow, a mysterious boy appears and rescues Garm from Futaba at the last second, scolding him for failing his mission as they retreat. The barrier closes and the students start to wake up in the aftermath, with a clear blue sky shining above. The next day at the Culture Festival, Mitsumi wins the Miss Hikoa contest and invites Takuma to attend the dance party with her. However, Takuma has other plans in mind. He reveals that he had been planning to dance with Natsuki the whole time. Mitsumi realizes that she, Natsuki, and Itsuyo had never told him about the bet they made that the contest winner gets to dance with him. With a gracious heart, Takuma asks Mitsumi to let him dance with Natsuki instead, to which she agrees. As the festival concludes, Takuma and Natsuki overcome the awkwardness from their previous intimacy and finally dance together. Their chemistry is undeniable, and they revel in each other's company. As the night winds down, they both realize that they have each other, and that's all they need. They vow to protect each other and the world they love, no matter what challenges lie ahead. What a heartwarming promise! Find out what happens on our next recap of Val X Love.